Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Lawler here, and if you are familiar with this channel or have been watching for a long time, you guys know I am not one to shy away from being critical on the game I cover most, which is Rocket League or Rocket League esports. And I figured we would do that yet again today, now that I'm officially back from the Copenhagen Major that went down this past weekend. I was invited to go to the Copenhagen Major to shoot a documentary, which by all means, if you guys want to make sure you don't miss out on the video, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, hit me up on the socials, all that kind of stuff. But we've got some really cool stuff planned. There's intentions of putting out basically a love letter to the community for the first major that I am very excited for you guys all to see. I think the footage we captured is fantastic. But the title of this video is Rocket League is Healing. And while I want to continue to be critical and stuff, that also means that I'm trying to be level-headed and provide an even-keeled perspective of when good happens as well. I think we can all agree that Rocket League for the last 5-6 years, whatever you want to call it, has kind of been stagnant. There hasn't been really new content. It has been formulaic. You know, new car, new arena plays the exact same way, new cosmetics. And that's just kind of been the template that we have gotten for years. And because of that, people are kind of burnt out. People are kind of frustrated to see that nothing really is changing, nothing's really improving or moving forward. And when it comes to the esport, people have concerns. People get worried about, well, what's happening with this new production team? Hey, they got rid of a lot of big things. And during the offseason, a lot of that criticism was deserved. We saw a lot of layoffs. We saw a lot of people being let go. Some of our favorite commentators, which is subjective. You also then saw, you know, some of the format changes that also became kind of templated. Swiss, single elim, very straightforward. There was no longer guaranteed seeds. We've talked about that as much as we can. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my previous videos. While that was all going on, I tried to provide some of that perspective as someone who has gone through it and been a part of it. Hey, we're spending over $1 million in caster salaries. Most esports only have 8 to 10 casters. It's way too many. We've got to reduce the numbers. It wasn't sustainable. Hey, you know, we got to reduce prize pools because we're just paying more to the top end and those guys are already getting good salaries. Let's spread that out so we can increase the player base and trying to provide perspectives and play devil's advocate this entire time. But let's listen to the realities of what has happened in the past couple weeks from Rocket League and the esports side of things. First things first, just like they did for the World Championship, they put out an esports decal, a unique decal that you can use for the event. It is there simply to promote in-game that the esport is going on. While not perfect, I would like to see these changes be implemented to where a portion of these sales go to a compendium prize pool and gets kicked back to the pro scene or used to fund another tournament potentially in the future. I would like to see these announced earlier. I would like to see and basically put out a laundry list of things that I wanted to see in these previously. If you guys haven't seen that list, go check out my Twitter. It's there somewhere. But TLDR, as I'm scrolling as quickly as I can to find it. I wanted discounted bundles on teams attending. I wanted pick'ems and you see how many people love the predictions, the ability to do your own predictions and maybe get a reward or an item in shop for it. People attending should be able to get these decals for free, you know, things of that nature. Okay. So that happened. We got cool decals. After that, we then said, hey, Copenhagen's going to be in the next day. It's starting. And along with that, fan rewards are coming back. A lot of people complaining about, hey, we haven't had fan rewards. I haven't been able to earn rewards or drops from watching the event. Whenever those coming back for the major, they brought them back. And not only did they bring them back, they also gave them to content creators streaming the broadcast. So the big names like AlphaCap and Squishy and all these people that normally do watch parties were also able to get drops on their channel, which gives a reason for people to watch their channel. It brings new attention to their channels. It helps grow, which gives back to creators. Another W. Pretty sweet. Along with that, right before the major started, they announced the next location ahead of time. And while, yes, it's going back to Copperbox and Arena, and some people may like that, some people may not like that, the cool thing is it's announced ahead of time. It gives people the opportunity to plan. It gives people the opportunity to figure out when things are happening. Hey, things are going to be on sale during these days. This is when you can attend. Awesome. It gives people a heads up and starts to build what is this roadmap. A complaint that has happened for years. Tell us ahead of time so we can know what's going on. Alongside that, they then, right before the grand finals, announced the World Championship. Again, location-wise, we're going back to Dickey's Arena, which is where the World Championship was 2 years ago. And maybe it's a bit of copy-paste. There is a reason for this. And if you guys would like me to extrapolate more information about why these things are happening, let me know in the comments down below. I'll have a video about the World Championship announcement, why it's there, the logistics of it all, etc. But if you guys want more specific details, let me know in the comments down below. But we got all that information. And you guys even heard me talk about it in my video. Why aren't they announcing this? Why aren't they announcing the London major at the major? What's going on? That's kind of weird. It's because they wanted to announce Worlds, which is awesome. So the fact that we got that, also fantastic. On top of that, after the major finished, they then have a feedback form. They go, hey, the event is finished. It's our first one. What do you guys think? Which, like, when has that ever happened? When have you, as an individual, outside of Reddit comments and stuff like that, that you hope they read, have you been able to provide your feedback? And yes, this doesn't allow you to type in your own responses and stuff. It's pretty cut and dry of like, how did you like this? How did you like that? What kind of micro adjustments can we make? But they like actively were like, hey, let us know how you feel. All of these things happening within a week of each other. On top of that, and this happened a little bit offsite, I'll probably do more detailed on this. They also made adjustments to the format. And while no, it's not massive adjustments, while no, it's not the perfect solution, a lot of people discuss, hey, BO3s provide too many upsets. There's too many uncertainty. You guys already have so many days that this is spread over. Doing best of fives isn't really going to punish us. It's only going to make the competition better. It's only going to make things more stable for who moves forward, less uncertainty. We should do best of fives. And they did. So they make another adjustment going into the second split or qualifiers 4, 5, and 6. Another good thing. On top of that, there's been a lot of conversations around the women's scene. And like, what's going to happen? WCB crash and burn despite me trying to do everything I could to make it run better, more efficiently, more effectively. I found partnerships. I found ways to sustain it. The reality is the organization that owned it didn't pay their people, so it died. Luckily, one of the relationships I built when I was doing WCB is Radiant. And Radiant did their Star Chaser series, and now they have 4 events for the women in Rocket League. Another $75,000 injected into the women's scene on behalf of Rocket League Esports and Ally. Another massive W. So it's like, over the course of what is essentially a week and a half, we got communication, we got the ability to provide feedback, we have adjustments to the format, and although not perfect, a step in the right direction. The production ran relatively well, and that's just the stuff that is forward-facing. That's not even mentioning the things I'm about to tell you from behind the scenes, because I was there. I attended, I interacted with the new production people, I talked to Epic Games, I had the ability, very luckily, to talk and interact with these people. And while a lot of it is under NDA, and I wish I could share more, for the first time, what feels like in a long time, and no, I have not been hashtag ad paid to say this, I'm feeling kind of positive about Rocket League. I know that's crazy to hear. I know that's very surprising to hear, but based upon the things in the discussions I've had, there is active efforts being put into making this game positive. It may come to a surprise to many of you, and many people don't see Rocket League as a game that is doing well. People think it's dying, hence the billion of tweets and posts and all the negativity on the timeline that I'm getting sick of. But like, let's call it what it is. If Rocket League's player base, all concurrent, was still shown in game, it's the 3rd highest on Steam charts. It's behind Counter-Strike and like PUBG when it's popping off. Like, it's averaging about 500,000 people playing every day. And I'm not saying like people signed up and how many accounts are active. I'm saying people playing actively. It's about 500,000 people. And when Fortnite kind of takes a dip because people are over the current season, then it bumps up to like 650, 700,000 people. There is still a ton of people playing this game almost 10 years into an existence, which isn't common for a live service game. You also see them taking active efforts with, as much as people don't care about it, Rocket Racing. Those are Rocket League assets being put in to UE5. Step in the right direction. The Rocket League esport is starting to have some education and some interest being accessed from Blast. Blast is actively looking for feedback. They're talking to creators. They're talking to the content creators that are there. And I can say that because I have a badge that I was given to do that. Like, we are being asked for our feedback and our opinions for what feels like for the first time in a very long time. And this stuff happened when I was a caster. I was able to provide my feedback. We always submitted stuff to the production team at the end of the season. But they are listening to the people that consume their game the most. The people that live and breathe this game And hopefully the select few that are trying to be even keeled and trying to provide both perspectives, people like myself that, while yes, critical, I feel like I have the right to be critical as someone who's covered it for 9 years of my life. That feedback is invaluable. It is a real perspective. It is, hey, this person actually has lived through all of this. Maybe we should give them the time of the day. And I have, by all means, the understanding of they're the ones paying the bills. They're the ones in charge of making the decisions. They're the ones that have run multiple other esports. And while we may feel this is how things should go, they have the right to say, you know what, we think we know better. We're going to go this direction. And that's why we got hired. But the fact that they're willing to listen is something that has not happened in a very long time. And I wish I could express more details. I wish I could tell you specifics about what we talked about, the intentions. But I think from a public facing, the things that have been, all the information that I've already expressed in this video, there is a lot of positive things happening. And I told them this community has been beaten and abused and broken for a very long time. They don't feel heard. There hasn't been any communication. It feels like it's fallen on deaf ears. And as long as you guys keep doing this, announcing things early, providing roadmaps, letting people know when and how they can get to certain things, asking for feedback, providing actual changes to the format, not after the season is over in between where we don't hear anything, but actively throughout the season, that is how you will slowly start to win over this community. It's not hard. We always talk about it, and I have it in all caps on my document that I'm going off of. Communication in all caps. That's what we want more than anything. And you can see proactive efforts coming from Blast and everybody else that I've been talking to lately to communicate more. Being active in this community, going back to the roots when the developers would do live streams talking about what they were doing. Hey, we're having server issues. This is what we're doing. You guys actually broke the servers, and our CEO who hates bread is going to eat bread on broadcast. That stuff hasn't happened in legitimately 9 years, almost 10. So when I say Rocket League is healing, do I think it's perfect? No. Am I still going to be critical? You better believe it. But I think there are steps being taken in a positive direction to make this game be what we all know it can be. How long that's going to take, I wish I could say. When are these things going to happen? I don't know. But at least things are happening. And I think we can all take solace in that. So, again, if you guys want to make sure you don't miss out on some of these things, you better believe I'm going to still keep covering it to the best of my ability. Make sure you guys hit subscribe, like, follow for notifications, all that stuff down below. And if you guys have any additional questions or would like to hear me talk more specifically about one of these topics, let me know in the comments down below. But for that, end of this video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.